What's good, family? It's your man the YB back once again. So we got some super duper breaking and leaked news with your man the YB's number one Donny in the game right now, Joyce. He airing out Tyson Fury and airing out Anthony Loss. He came through in the clutch moments. Let's not forget, people. Yeah. Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua was in the clutch moments, and guess who came through hard in the paint? It was your man Joyce, trying to save the day on some Superman thing. 100%. He said if Tyson Fury and AJ aren't fighting, then I'll step in and bang their heads together. One at a time, 100%. Listen, my doggy Joe, yeah, he will thump up. It's funny, you know, honestly. For a long time, when people would use the word thump, yeah, it's kind of like, how would you spell thump? It's not T-U-M-P, thump. I think of it like T-H-U-M-P, thump him up. But when that word's used, I could never really visualize it until I saw Joyce, yeah. He's the definition of thump. It's not snappy, yeah. It's not punch. He'd thump you down, one of them ones, 100%. Joe will come along and he'll thump down whichever one of you cats want it. Who want it? I'll tell you who don't want it. Fury, he want Manuel Char right now. Yeah, he want Bamuel Char. Who the fuck? Bamuel Char. Bamu Char. That's Tyson Fury want Del Boy Chisora. The 10 times worse version of Joyce, aka Mr. Thump You Up and Bust Your Eye Up, Mr. Thump Your Eye Up. 100%. Anyway, listen. If Fury and Mr. Joshua aren't fighting, then I'll step in December 3rd. December 3rd is tight for me at Tyson Fury. But, Eddie Hearn, you can give your new best mate, Frank Warren, a call. And I'll take the 17th slot with Mr. Joshua. Easy fight to make. Hashtag the Juggernaut. Now, I do have to say this. You man know me. It's been well documented. I've been probably the number one guy in Joe Joyce's corner, telling him Frank Warren is not your friend. Now, I mention that because Eddie Hearn, when he saw this, basically said that Joe Joyce is being used as a attack dog. And I do have to say, that is how kind of it's looking. Because, truth be known, both of these two cats, Fury and AJ, Joe Joyce, should be putting it on. Now, I'm confused. I've done many videos begging Joe Joyce to stick it on Alexander Usyk. And yet, he out here visibly doing the bidding for Frank Warren. Why is it? It only takes a message from Frank Warren and Joe Joyce is out here kind of pressuring AJ. Wait a minute, Joe. Why aren't you worrying about your own career? Rather than trying to bail out Tyson Fury's career. Clearly, Frank Warren told Joe Joyce, Joe, put it on AJ. Now, listen, I'm all for the AJ fight. I'd love to see AJ I'd love to see Joe Joyce thump Anthony Joshua down. But for me, anyone can get it. This, for me, Joe Joyce's career cannot no longer be about politics. And I'm sorry, but this statement here is a politics statement for Tyson Fury and for Frank Warren. Because from Joe's point of view, why does he care? I guess he's basically saying it's short notice. So fair enough, that might be the case, to be fair. December 3rd, Joe Joyce feels like it's short notice. So you could argue on that basis it's not a political statement. Equally, if I was advising Joe Joyce, I'd have said, listen, Tyson Fury, you're fighting a Bamued Char. Yeah? Push the date back to December 17th and come fight a real fight. Stop fighting bums. Don't no one want to see you fight a bum. Equally, AJ, you said you had no time for December 13th. We can get it on. Which one of you big, scary dudes wants to get thumped down by Joe? Yeah? That's how we should have left it, in my opinion. No need to put all the pressure on AJ. Give it to both of them. Because realistically, you ain't going to get neither. And that's why this statement for me is a bit iffy, because I'm sure Frank Warren's the one who told him about this. I'm sure Frank Warren said, yeah, Tyson Fury's going in another direction now, Joe, so stick it all over AJ. And to be fair, Joe Joyce to some extent is valuable right now. Why? He holds the key to a relatively immediate shot for the WBO championship. So if AJ wants back in the running, there's no quicker way. You have to beat one of Dubois, Hrgovic or Joyce. Now to be fair, Joe Joyce for me would be the bottom of that list, because he's not a big commercial fight and he's the hardest fight. Do you know what I'm saying? Although, really, in terms of profile, after knocking out Tyson Fury's best mate Joe Parker, I don't think Hrgovic's profile is bigger than Joyce, especially not after his last loss against Zhang. And I don't think Dubois' profile is bigger either. Because what's Dubois done apart from lose to Joyce? Exactly. So yeah, but again, it's marginal, isn't it? You can't sit here and say, yeah, well, Joe Joyce is 10 times bigger than Dubois. It's marginal. Either way, though, Joe, I've been telling you for a while, do not do Frank Warren's bidding. Yeah? You need to look at everyone as a target, on your stable or not. Now, from Frank Warren's point of view, the reason he will have advised Joe Joyce to go at AJ and not Fury is because Frank Warren's running a business. He don't want to put his two best fighters together, does he? Why would he want to put both his two best fighters together? Now, to be fair to Frank, he has done that in the past. He put Yard versus, what's that guy's name? Queen Arthur. He also put Dubois versus Joyce together. So yeah, Frank Warren does put his best fighters together, although it's a bit different, isn't it? Let's not forget, people, Frank Warren expected Dubois to drag Joyce. That's the truth. If Frank Warren had known Dubois was going to get his cherry popped, that fight never would have happened. They thought they were going to use Joyce as a nice stepping stone. So it's a bit like that. And really, we know Tyson Fury is the crown and jewels of Frank Warren's gig right now. His promotional stable. There's no way he wants... Now, to be fair, I think the fight's 60-40, 65-35 towards Tyson at the moment. But still, does Frank Warren want that risk? It doesn't appear so. Because if I was Joe Joyce, I'd be pressuring Tyson Fury based on the Bamu Char fight that no one wants to see. I'd be all over that. But equally, like he says, December 3rd is tight. It's not like AJ who fought 6 weeks ago. Joe Joyce fought, is it a week ago or 2 weeks ago now? Is it a week? Like, yeah, it's a week, just over a week. So, yeah, really, it's impossible. There's only 9 weeks until December 3rd. So yeah, there's literally no chance. That would be the biggest fight of Joe Joyce's career. I wouldn't even advise that, truth be known. There's no way. Not in 8 weeks, no way. For Tyson Fury, you'd want a full 12-week camp. No doubt about it. And that's literally impossible. So yeah, even to be honest, December 17th. From Joe Joyce's point of view, why rush? I think, genuinely, I think Joe Joyce should approach the Tyson Fury fight not as a I'm turning up for a paycheck. That fight, from my point of view, is a winnable fight, if you get what I'm saying. I'm not saying, is Joe Joyce the odds-on favourite to win? No. I'm saying that Joe Joyce shouldn't turn up as an opponent to fight Tyson Fury. He should give that a full camp and believe he can win. And I'm sorry, but based on the odds, I will back Joe Joyce to beat Tyson Fury based on the odds. There's no way I'm going to put 100 quid on Tyson Fury to get 25 quid back for him to beat Joyce. No way. I'll take the quadruple on Joyce, to be quite frank. Especially after Tyson Fury's last fight against Dillian Whyte, which I wasn't too impressed with. And we know, well, I'm pretty confident, Tyson Fury ain't going to catch Joyce with one punch in 7 rounds and knock him spark out. Not being funny, but Deontay Wilder, who isn't renowned for cardio, who isn't renowned for work rate, he had Tyson Fury gassed in that fight. Tyson Fury just ended up being the least tired of 2 knackered men. Do you know what I mean? Let's be real now. In Wilder 3, Tyson Fury just so happened to be the less tired man. Still, he was knackered in there. He was almost clinging on by a thread himself. The difference was he didn't have a Joe Joyce in front of him. let's not also forget, people, Otto Wallin, who is a D-level version of Joyce. Otto Wallin had Tyson Fury. You know what I mean? Was giving Tyson Fury a full run-in. Yeah? Don't ever forget that. Tyson Fury was pushed to his limits against Otto Wallin, who in my opinion is a tenth of the man Joe Joyce is. So yeah, both fights for me, Joe Joyce should be bang on them. Both of them. I've been saying for a while, from Joe Joyce's point of view, any hole is a goal. Yeah? We're looking to pop anyone. Who want to get popped next? Yeah? Dillian, do you want it? 100%. Dillian, tell Dean to unplug you. 100%. Listen, Dillian, tell Dean to unplug you and Joe will come along and pop you. 100%. Yeah? No doubt about it. Take that Dean plug out your booty and my doggy Joe going to come through and give you a pop. Straight from the back. No doubt about it. Leave you gaping 100%. That's what my doggy Joe fixing to do. To Bumillion, the Brixton Bummer. Anthony Lostua. Yeah? Who else you got? Tyson Fury. Whoever won it. None of them won it. That's the position Joe Joyce finds himself in. But listen, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'm liking this from Joe. A closed mouth don't get fed. That's what we do know. Yeah? There's not many things in life you can take for guarantee. Having a closed mouth is one of them. Yeah? That will guarantee you ain't going to get nizzy. That said, you have to be more strategic. You have to know where your leverage is. Joe's leverage right now is the WBO shot. I'd be telling everyone, listen AJ, I might not have the biggest clout. What I do have is your ticket back to the big time. Come fight me for my WBO mandatory. Oops, that's how he should be selling it. Tyson Fury, he should be selling it on the basis of, listen Fury, you're fighting a Bamu Char, which no one wants. If I was Joe Joyce, I'd be putting out a poll right now. Who wants to see me versus Fury on December 17th, or Fury versus Char? Yeah, obviously the poll's going to say him. I'll be putting it out there. Why are you fighting a bum no one wants to see? Even if Joe don't even want that date, why not? Yeah, Joe needs to become part of the punking game. Yeah? Joe needs to join the punking business. Even if you got no intention of fighting on December 17th. It's like poker. You bluff. Joe knows Fury's not going to go for it. So, you can double down your position. Do you know what I'm saying? We know Fury don't even want to fight AJ on short notice. There's no way he's fighting Joe Joyce. Yeah? The original Tomper. So Joyce needs to get his poker hat on and start bluffing. Listen, Fury, you big, lanky sack of bones. Yeah? I'm a real 270-pound bulbous dude with a full tank of cardio. Stop trying to pick fights with bodybuilders and come get some real legendary work. Come get some of this legendary chin. Yeah? You ain't fighting Mr. Chicken Leg Deontay Wilder no more. You're fighting Mr. Anunnaki chin. Yeah? Come get some of this Anunnaki DNA chin. You don't want it. You like fighting basketball players with no chins. Yeah? And suspect power. Oops. Mr. the biggest puncher in the world couldn't do nothing with Bumane. Yeah, Bumane Stavern. Your man Wilder went 12 rounds. Magical power. Magical power that couldn't stop the guy. Magical power that couldn't stop Tyson Fury 3 times. Magical power that barely got Louise old tease out of there after 10 rounds. Do you know what I'm saying? These are the kind of bars. Listen, Joe, man, I work for free. You know what to do. DM's there. Yeah? At the Don YB. It's big facts. Add pure value to your game right now. Your game is certified in the ring. Outside the ring, your team are sloppy. What has your team done to further your agenda? So far, we've got no fight with Dillian White, we've got no fight with AJ, and we've got no fight with Usyk. In fact, Joe Joyce has now allowed Usyk to weasel off to the front lines in Poland. Yeah, that's what Usyk's alleging is doing now. Yeah, he's fighting on the front lines in Poland. That's what he's doing. And Joe Joyce has allowed Usyk to weasel off the hook. Not good. And really, he'll have no one to blame but himself. I've been given the advice. You must be applying pressure to the goals you want, legally and otherwise. Anyway, I really do pray. I pray I'm wrong. Because my bet is, I'd bet good money that Joe Joyce will not have a top 10 fight come next year. The first half of next year, Joe Joyce will fight another Christian Hammer type opponent. Not because of his fault, but because his team will have not pressed the WBO mandatory, which will mean he'll be pissing in the wind on himself. And it will mean Usyk and Fury get to fanny around for 2 years doing fights and rematches and undisputed. So I reckon Joe Joyce will spend the next 6 months just hanging around. And then everyone else, Dillian White, Andy Ruiz, whoever else, will be booking other fights, not involving him. That's the situation Joe Joyce will find himself if he doesn't make a move now. You must move now. The minute Undisputed starts negotiations, you're toast. You've lost all your leverage then. I hope I'm wrong. Really, I do. I really do hope I'm wrong. I hope Undisputed happens in February. I hope Joe Joyce gets a big fight with Dillian White or AJ in Q1. But like I said, I'd bet big money right now he gets neither of them. I think the best opponent he can hope for is maybe an Otto Wallin. Maybe. That'll be the absolute best he can hope for. And even then, I think the odds are he ends up getting a Christian Hammer. Please, I hope I'm wrong. For the sport's sake, I hope I'm wrong. But that's where things are looking right now. That's the odds favourite. Joyce versus Christian Hammer type dude. Because don't forget, people, guess what? For the last 2 years, since Joe Joyce beat Dubois, what has he done? Exactly. He's fought Christian Hammer. His team had 2 years to arrange something off the back of the WBO mandatory shot. And what did they manage to pull off? I mean, they even lost the Joe Parker fight. That's how shocking it is. It was only because Joe Parker decided to do the fight. Really, it had nothing to do with Team Joyce. Team Joyce didn't get that fight. It just so happened Team Parker underestimated Joe, if you get what I'm saying. This game here isn't about what you want, or what you need, or what you think should happen. It's about what you can legally enforce. I mean, has Dillian White not just showed you that precedent? You don't get what makes sense in this game. You get what you can legally enforce. I'm sorry, but it's sad. We know every year Man United and Arsenal will play 2 times a year. Every year, at least. Yeah? Boxing does not work like that. A lot of these cats in boxing, they're naive to the game. They think, oh, well, we must get a big fight soon because we're WBO mandatory. No. If you hang around and don't stare on people's necks, you won't get nothing. As you didn't get for the last 2. I mean, the crazy thing is, we don't even have to talk about Dillian. Joe, look at your own career. Okay, now. Look at your own career. The biggest win really, I'm going to be honest here. Joe Joyce has one of the biggest wins in the heavyweight division. A stoppage win over Daniel Dubois from 2 years ago. Who has a better win than that? Okay, Fury beat Wilder. Fine, he's a champion. But who, non-champion level, has a better win than that? I think it's better than Usyk beating AJ, to be honest. I do. What's AJ done since then? AJ beat Pulev. Joyce has a better win than even the champions. Joyce stopping Dubois is better than Usyk beating AJ. It's better than AJ beating Pulev. The only win it's not better than is maybe Fury beating Wilder. Joyce has the number 2 win regardless of champions. And look where he is. He's fighting Christian Hammer. Wow. Like I said, you don't get what you want. You don't get what makes sense. You don't get what's fair. You get what you are legally entitled to. And right now, that is sweet dickle. That's what you've got coming, Joe Joyce. You must be applying pressure to the WBO. Must do. If you don't, you're going to be fighting another Hammer for the next 2 years. Big facts. Smash the like button, subscribe, and you're